Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to make a quick video for Friday, June 5th, talking about triangle congruence, just to help you get on the right path. And then I'm going to make a quick one on how to do some of the GeoGebra activities in a separate video. So first things first is we have ASA, SAS, and SSS. So what those stand for is that A stands for angle and S stands for side. Now, notice that in ASA, the S is sandwiched between the two A's. We call that included. So S is included between the two angles. But in SAS, the A is included. It's sandwiched between the two sides. So part of being successful with triangle congruence is learning how to read a triangle. So if I want to do an example of what ASA would look like as far as markings, I'm going to need two angles marked and one side. But the catch is that side has to be between the two angles. So for example, if I had this angle marked and this angle as being marked, the side I would have to be able to compare to a different triangle would be this side here. Okay, because that side is in between the two angles. If I move one of my angles, my side has to also move, right? So if we were to take this diagram and compare it to this diagram that I'm putting now at the bottom, those two triangles are congruent because of angle side angle. They have two pairs of congruent angles, 1, 2, and they have one pair of congruent sides, and that side is between the two angles. So that's ASA. All right. Now, if I were to move the bottom side here, that doesn't work because this triangle reads as ASA. The triangle on the bottom reads as AAS. So, right, or it would read as SAA. It doesn't matter what direction you start from, we just normally start, like there's certain acronyms we follow. Okay, so if this was the diagram we were given, those triangles would not be congruent because the side on the bottom is not between, it's not included between the two angles we're looking at. All right, so ASA would have to be something like this right here. Okay, now if we wanted SAS, now the angles and the sides switch. So that would look something like this. Notice that the angle is between the two sides, right? And so if I'm trying to tell if two triangles are congruent via SAS, they're going to have the same corresponding. So corresponding means the same relative position. So what I mean by that is this angle on the top, those are corresponding angles. They're in the same relative position if you were to orientate the triangles in the same way. Okay? So SAS, the angle has to be between the two sides. If I were to move that angle to over here, obviously that does not work. Okay, that angle is not between the two sides. The two sides we're looking at are not making that angle. All right, that would read as ASS or SSA, which obviously is not SAS. Okay, so again, guys, the whole purpose of this is being able to tell triangles are congruent with minimal amounts of information, right? So like if we knew every single piece of the triangle, yeah, we could tell if they were the same size and the same shape or not. But if we want to just use minimal amounts of information, that's when we use these, I call them just shortcuts, right? Like these triangle congruence shortcuts. So if I were to draw another triangle on the bottom, and we knew this and this, those two triangles are congruent via SAS, side, angle, side. And the last one's really easy to spot, just side, side, side. That's mentioning that all three sides you are given information for. Okay, so you don't have to worry about included angle, included side. It's just you know information for all three sides. So if we knew something just even like this, notice that the location of the dashes are in different points, but all three sides still have a corresponding point, right? Like this side is the same length as this side is the same length as this side, and this side is the same length as this side. That's good for SSS, all right? With triangles, the order doesn't matter because I could rotate, flip, do whatever to one of those triangles and make their orientation the same. All right, so guys, that's just kind of this where today's lesson is going as far as the main concept to understand that triangles can be congruent with, you can figure out that triangles are congruent with minimal amounts of information, but it has to be specific information. Angle, side, 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 side. Check out the next video for how to do some of the activities in GeoGebra. Happy Friday!